He has been applying all the knowledge gained in his working operation. Professor Verma has more than 100 publications in journal, book chapters, conferences. He has successfully completed 3 prestigious projects sponsored by Government of India and Government of Botswana. Presently, he is amongst the reviewers and the editorial board of many prestigious journals. He is also credited with supervisor of more than 50 students at various levels. 3 prestigious awards has been conferred on him for an excellence in science, namely Vigyan Shiromani Award in 2015, BAGE, that is Botswana Association of Geological Engineers Fellowship in 2019, and prestigious Scientist Award by Alpha 2021.
Pramod,
He bears an intense desire to promote various traditional. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, you.
Audible. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Someone's mic is
So,
on.
hello.
yeah, sorry for the interruption. Sir bears an intense desire to promote the glorious traditional knowledge of Bharat across the globe and is trying his level best to play the role of torchbearer in this great cause of reinstating the aura of excellent wisdom of India, sages since the Vedic period. I mean, the whole profile is very vast with vast experience and all, and it's a privilege for our university as well and for our faculties to listen from you, sir. So now I request Professor Rahul Verma to please start their presentation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Swati ma'am. Actually, I was supposed to give a brief introduction, but when I heard that, I am feeling a bit embarrassed about myself. And before I start anything, I have to thank with the bottom of my heart to our Honorable ex-Vice Chancellor, Professor Rao, and somehow or other, I am very fortunate that I always get a good regard from him. So it is a blessing from him, and even after leaving Mizoram University, sir is kind enough that we are in touch all the time. So he is always giving me encouragement. So I am always thankful to him because of him I am here on this platform. So now I think I should start my presentation. So before I present, I want to say something that while I was a student, I was studying the origin of Earth, origin of universe. So that gave me an interest. Then what are the different theories? Then I searched internet also. Then I realized that most of the things that we are learning now through these Western world theories, they were already known to our ancestors for a long time. So that encouraged me to go on studying more. That is actually not my main topic, but I am teaching here principles of geochemistry. So in this subject, I am also taking origin of solar system and universe. So even the students of Botswana, I give them presentation, this lecture. And even I have presented this lecture in the several seminar series in Botswana and even Zimbabwe and Zambia and South Africa, just to promote our culture. And many people have started giving very high regard to our ancient knowledge. So that is my success. And this research I first presented in a conference in traditional knowledge that was held in Mizoram University organized by Professor Solanki. Sir knows him. So I presented this, and then another organization published my research in Hindi and English, both languages. So let me try to present whatever I have done, and I hope you all will be impressed by, not by me, but our traditional knowledge. Thank you. Let me go to presentation.
I think Pramod, you share. You allow him to share his
No, it's okay. I got it. I think, okay. But still I am not getting to share.
It is coming now.
Okay.
You have to show. You have to open your Pradhana. Yes,
Is it coming?
it is coming, but you can't do last slide. You have to go for first slide.
No, it's okay. Okay. No, it means you are seeing.
Yes, now we can see the first slide. Right.
Okay, sir. So this is the topic. You all are aware of this topic, concept of universe in in ancient India. And for this presentation, I made an experiment. Normally, in all the PowerPoint presentations, the background picture remains the same. But in this one, I tried to match the background also with the contents of the slides. So I don't know how successful I was, but that's what I did. So let me go now. So we start with the age of Rigveds. So as we all know what is Rigved, but it was likely to be composed in the written form between roughly 1700 to 2200 BC. So it makes it one of the oldest texts of any Indo-Iranian language and one of the oldest religious or spiritual text. It is more a spiritual than religious, in my opinion. So before coming to the written form, it used to be preserved over by reciting, like oral tradition, like in Gurukuls. The gurus were reciting and the pupils were memorizing and passing through generations. So, and this continued until they learned how to write during Middle Ages using leaves and making ink from the essence of flowers, like something, or even gum from the trees. I don't know actually. So this is what age of Yajurveda. Yaju means worship and Veda means knowledge. So it means prose mantra for worshipping rituals. So it's an ancient Sanskrit text and that offers the formula the recited by priest. So the written compilation record dates back to 1200 BC. So in this all this knowledge, everything is much before. You can just take the common word BC, before Christ. So Samved, Sam is a meaning song and knowledge of song. So this is Ved of melodies and chants. And the age of compilation is again ranging from 1200 to 1800 BC. Age of Atharva Ved. Actually, this was in those times was called Veda of magic formulas. Actually, these were the scientific formulas, and just like chemistry experiment and whatever, many experiments. So they were called magical formula, but they were actually mentioning the scientific discoveries. So I am so inspired by this way that I have named my son, elder son, Atharv. The name of my elder son is also Atharv. The age of compilation is again 1200 to 1800 BC. And then age of Purans. Purans came at later age, you know. So this is again in Sanskrit text, and they related to Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Shaktism, and Smartism. So again, you can see they are having 12,000 to 15,000 verse in each and divided into 382 or 383 chapters. And these were likely to be composed between 7th to 11th century. And significantly, you know, the Persian scholar Al-Biruni has also mentioned in his text about the Agni Puran. Now, actually, I have added some part. I am just giving a disclaimer that some of the things which are not related to really concept of universe, but I have included them here so that we can strengthen the point of view that our traditional knowledge was not a myth; they were a reality. Actually, I am strictly opposing that word that the Western word has given to our knowledge as mythology. So this word mythology should be removed because they are not myths; these are realities. So now let me start with this. And I have also included some real video evidences also. So now there is no one who doesn't know about this Ram Setu. So you can see this is according to the Ramayana, this is a man-made structure, and they later on this Britishers named them Adam's Bridge. So which is more than 7,000 years old, and surrounding sand is matrix is nearly 4,000 years. So this is the key, because if it was made by natural elements, so even the rocks and the sand, they should be of the same age. But we find that the rock standing on this is 7,000 year old and the sand is only 4,000 years old. And being a geologist, actually I know what kind of rock was used. It was not a magic or some ritual. I have been to Rameshwaram, and I took the rock, a piece of a rock that is used for, actually these rocks are used, these are coralline rocks. And corals have their tubular inner structure, so that gives them a lot of buoyancy. So because of that, those coral stones, they behave like what do you call these safety bags, or what do you call? I'm just missing the word. So means those things who float on the water. So now you can see here, and this is a satellite image. So how can it be a myth? Ram Setu. You can see here. Now in the next one, you can see. Please watch this short video. So now, just to strengthen my viewpoint, I have also added the evidences of Mahabharata. And it was also considered as a myth, but it was a reality. And everyone knows that this battle was in Kurukshetra. And even today, a lot of remains, dead bodies and remains of the weapons and chariots, everything is evidenced and reported. Now here there's another short video. Please bear with me. Maybe it's taking little time to load. I have included very short videos to make my presentation more detailed. Oh.
Did the Mahabharata really happen? Or is it just a myth passed down through generations? Scholars have debated this for centuries, but there are many intriguing clues that suggest its historicity. Archaeological excavations reveal that Hastinapur was a thriving city during the same period as the Mahabharata. Next, the Kurukshetra battlefield, where the epic battle took place, has been identified near present-day Haryana, India. Excavations here have unearthed weapons, chariot remains, and other artifacts that match the descriptions in the Mahabharata. Ancient texts like the Puranas also mention the names of several characters from the epic. Inscriptions and inscribed artifacts found at various sites further authenticate these characters. The Bhagavad Gita, a significant part of the Mahabharata, has philosophical teachings that resonate with people even today. The Vedic rituals, customs, and traditions described in the epic are also observed in present-day India. Still any doubt? Then I can't help it.
So now we come here. These are the proofs of Mahabharata. Again, I am putting some close views. And then that is another real story. And scientifically proved that the city of Dwarka made at the western coast of India was not a myth. And actually, some scientists of NIO, they have proved that this was submerged because of the sea level rise during global warming. So again, this is the last video, a very short one. You can see. You can see the pictures of submerged Dwarka. Gujarat's undersea picture. See, it is supposed to be at least 12,000 years old. This is very significant. An idol that was found which is 12,000 years old. So this is the mention about Bhagavad Gita. So the dates are not very sure, but it is at least 5,000 years old. Now this is a picture of how the Vedic records were preserved. This is from Samaved. You can see how they are preserved. This is a very old, I think, leaf. Now from here I will take you to a journey about the amazing knowledge of our ancestors. That I'm coming to the main topic now, to how much they were knowing about the concept of universe and origin of solar system. So now you see Bhuvan Kosh of the Padam Puran is giving a clear-cut classification of different branches of science. And all these names are mentioned: Bhugol, Khagol Shastra and Jyotish Shastra, like Bhugol geography, Khagol Shastra astronomy, Jyotish Shastra astrology. And in 16th to 17th century, Mr. Kant and Laplace, the gaseous origin of the solar system, that there was a dust, and then the dust started revolving around the sun, and then all planets accumulated. Now you can see in the Rig Veda Haim 130.1.2 and 72.2, building of universe from the cosmic dust through the architecture of Brahma. Don't you think it is amazing? This was written in Rig Veda, and that we came to know in 17th to 18th century. So, like in Vedic times, they were not considered as scientists, our ancestors. They were considered as sages or maharshis. So they had a tendency to personify things and write things in a poetic way. So we all know there is a universe, unending, very big universe. So that universe was named Brahma. And actually in Hindi also we called universe as Brahma. So, and they call it Adi Purush, Atman of the universe. Now, in this verse of Rig Veda, it is mentioned that the universe originated from the body of Brahma. The moon from the mind, sun from the eyes, rain and fire from the mouth, wind from the breath, earth from the feet, atmosphere from his navel, heavens for his days, and quarters from his ears. So it is obviously symbolic, but it is true. Now this one is very interesting. As we all know, that in the beginning when the earth was forming, it was all cooling of a molten ball. The earth was a hot sphere of magma. So there was no life. So slowly, when the top layer cooled, then some wrinkles came, some rocks came, then there was a very big rain for some 40,000 years or more. That rain created oceans and rivers, and then erosion took place, and then we got lot of sedimentary rocks. And at the same time, the earth was still cooling. So the first form rocks were igneous rocks, and they were again intruded by second sequence of igneous rocks. So then they are called metamorphic rocks, because metamorphic rocks are the one which operate on the previously existing rocks. So the previously existing igneous rocks were attacked by second sequence of magma, third sequence, and so on. So we are consequently getting igneous, metamorphic, and then we got wrinkles because of the cooling of the surface, and those wrinkles became mountains. And from there, some rivers originated. They started weathering and erosion. Then we got sedimentary rocks. So most of the oldest geology you will find combined layer of igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Now you see. So that is why, since in the beginning there was no life, so symbolically it is written the earth has originated from water. So this water refers to the hot molten magma that was produced after worshipping of death, because there was no life. No life can survive in a magma, and life evolved slowly after a long time of the solidification of earth. Now, I am just trying to put a small picture so that you know a lot. Now you see, these are all mentioned. I have mentioned where it is mentioned. Shiv Puran. It might be in other texts also, but I mentioned only here. So that is what it is saying, that everything is created, evolved, then it is destroyed. That is the law of universal life. And this is again amazing. You can see Surya Eshatu Lokasya Mool Paramadevakam. This is mentioned in Vayu Puran and in Matsya Puran also. That universe has originated from the glass disk again. Now, concept of oval shape of the universe. Again, this is mentioned in Vayu Puran that the whole universe were inside the egg. The egg was surrounded by 10 quantities from outside. Now, only Brahma that was everywhere. So, means universe was there, then he created water, then the water sowed the seed of Brahman, that is called, Brahman means Brahma and egg of Brahma. So that is called the great egg. So this is long before. And remember all these amazing things. Now we have satellites, we have missions going to Mars, missions going to Sun. Now we know the shape of the orbitals, how is the shape of the solar system. But that is amazing that long ago, before not even a bicycle was invented, forget about the aircraft and ships and rockets. Our ancestors were already knowing. How come is a mystery. Now you see, origin of universe from a egg. This is also mentioned again in Vayu Puran, Vishnu Puran, and Mahabharat Parv. You can see. That's why I tried to match the pictures with the text. And this is again amazing. I wonder how our ancestors were having knowledge of this latitudes and longitude. See, beautified with golden ornaments. These ornaments means these latitudes and longitude, revolving around the circumference and especially running, have not been capable of being victorious over the Indra. So this is again symbolic language. The sun has encircled the Dutas. So you can see they had a mention of latitude and longitude. Rigved also mentioned the concept of day and night. The sun spreads its luster arm around the earth, helping the world to sleep and awake. Responded Savita resplendent Savita has filled with glow the region of space, the sky and the earth. So again, they added some symbolic and poetic language. But we all know that the day and night come through the sunlight. Again, you see, in the Rig Veda, it is mentioned again, the moving moon always receives a ray of light from the sun. Now, I don't want to repeat many times that they were written in the Vedic period, but you can see, moon decided this is a coming artistic language. Day and night attended its wedding, and sun gifted his daughter sun ray to moon. So it's all symbolic. Now, I wonder how many of you know even heard the name of these two gentlemen. We know only the name of modern scientists. We don't know the name of ours. So this Rishi Vaman Dev, he discovered this planet Jupiter. I guess it is a news to many of you, and it is mentioned in Rig Veda. And another Rishi Vain Bhargav, he discovered the planet Venus. This is also mentioned in. Now you see, this one is very interesting. Everyone knows this Hanuman Chalisa slok, Yug Sahastra Yojan Par Bhanu, Lilo Tahi Madhur Phal Janu. So it's also symbolic. So one yug is 12,000 year, one sahastra is 1,000, one yojan is 8 mile. If you multiply them, you get 96,000,000 miles. So this is referred by Tulsidas. And if Tulsidas, being a poet, knows so much about astronomy, so can you believe how much our ancestral were knowing? So now you see, this is the distance from Earth to the Sun according to this shlok. And NASA has also calculated the distance of the Sun is almost approximately the same. This is a repeating of same thing in the picture. Concept of celestial chariots of the Sun. You see, 7 named horses. Actually, these refers to the 7 spectrum of the Sun, that Vibgyor. And we all know who copied those and from where. Concept of multiple universe, and this is also amazing. Mentioned in Bhagavad Puran. You can see here. Universe comprised of material, the total material energy, false ego, either air, water, and what is your glory? Unlimited universe pass through the pores of your body. Now you see, everywhere it is mentioning this multiple universe. Again here, Bhagavad Puran. Every universe is covered by 7 layers. You can mark this word. When they are saying every universe, it is a statement that they were aware about many universes. So again, it is written that there are innumerable universes besides one. And all they are unlimited. They move about like an atom in you. Therefore, you are called unlimited. Again, in this text, separating the different universe, the gigantic universal form of the Lord, which came out of the casual ocean, the place of appearance for the first Purush avatar, entered into it. So somewhere they use scientific language and somewhere you use poetic language. So this certifies that they were aware of multiple universe. Again, concept of infinite creations means same thing, that is something is originated, it is evolved, and that it is destroyed. Now, we owe a lot to Aryabhat. Aryabhat Siddhant ceremony gives an account of solar system and orbital circumference of the planet. And he also calculated the distance from Earth and Moon. All are mentioned in his book Surya Siddhant. Now, concept of atmosphere. Bhaskaracharya also gave a detailed account of structure of atmosphere in this Goladhyaya. He has referred atmosphere to be 12 yojans. This is very interesting. that comes to 96 mile. And this was supported by two other sages, Aryabhatta and Lalla. And remarkably, this calculation made in Vedic period match with the modern calculation of 100 miles. So I think you can forgive Bhaskaracharya for a mistake of 4 miles only. But it was almost approximate without any equipment. Shape of the earth also, that is another wonder. Shape like an oblate spheroid. Earth is attenuated at the poles. Rigveda and Markandeya Purans are mentioning this. Now this is another, this was mentioned in Garud Puran, because being a student of structural geology and all these phenomenon of the earth like earthquake, mountain building, even mineralization, they are all controlled by plate tectonics. I can't teach you plate tectonics here, but we can imagine that if you put some, say, sugarcane juice in a big pan and warm it from below and then put it under a rotating disc. So what happens when the top layer of the jaggery will solidify? It will start moving and touching it, sometimes coming close to them, sometimes going away from them. So it's a layman's example of plate tectonics, because I'm not sure how many of you know geology, but I'm trying to give you a very specific example. Like, so people are on a merry-go-round, and then sometimes they are colliding each other, sometimes they are going away from each other, sometimes they are sliding past each other. So when you are colliding with each other, that is called convergent plate margins. And like Indian plate and Eurasian plate collided, and we got formation of Himalaya because of the compression. And when you get away from two plates, then when two plates separate apart, then this is called divergent margin. So I did not include that picture. Means that it acts like a lady is cooking rice and she's checking the rice to open the lid. When she opens the lid, a lot of steam comes up. So same way, when the plates are moving apart, it means God is checking whether the rice is cooked or not. So a lot of magma comes up, and if time allows, I can show you the one picture of Transatlantis ridge. We have a very big ridge, almost covering from south to north, all across, starting from Africa to North Pole. That is Transatlantic ridge. And then third one is called sliding past each other. So that is called strike fault. So the good example is the San Andreas fault of US. So now here you can see this is the plate model. Now you can see this is Africa, this is India, and this is how Indian plate collided here, and then we got Himalaya. And you can see here, you can see a glimpse of transatlantic. You can see this thing is transatlantic ridge, because these two plates moved away. These plates are moving away. And now you see India. Those who have some idea, they can see India, Australia, Madagascar, South Africa. They were all together once. So what I mean to say, now we are seeing the continents separately, very far away from each other. But in the beginning, there was only one mega continent that was called Pangaea. And it was surrounded by a big ocean, not like many oceans. The continent was called Pangaea, and the surrounding ocean was called Panthalassa. So at the beginning of the earth, you will be amazed to know that all the continents were located somewhere here together, as if you consider the whole earth as a human, so this part will represent the heart. So Garud Puran mentioned that the entire land mass of the mother earth represents her heart. So, and then this part separated, this part separated. How they separated, that is another story. But they were knowing exact position of the continents, that Pangaea was here somewhere near, as if If this is a human, it was near the heart. Again, it's a sort of little bit repetition, but you can see Rigved mentions a lot. Vishnu Puran. Shape, earth, rotation, and revolution. Sun never sets, all parts of the earth are not in darkness. Different device, hills and mountains. Well-informed knowledge about the movement of the earth and rotation. Earth rotates in two ways by the will of Brahma. You see, first it rotates on its axis, then it revolves around the sun. This is amazing. Day or night are distinguished when moves on its axis. Season change when the revolves around the sun. How detailed knowledge my ancestors were having. Then there are sun in all directions. The night sky begin fall of them. Now concept of motion. Now we all, if you ask any student, they will say who's told you about the laws of motion. So only one name will come, Isaac Newton. Planets star keep moving. Motion in Brahmand is immovable. Nothing is in Brahmand. This is very important. And this is also confirming the most accepted theory of origin of universe, that is Big Bang theory by Fred Hoyle and Littleton. Big Bang. Nothing is static in this world, neither living or non-alive. We all know that we are also not static. We are moving. Earth is divided into many plates, as much 14 of them in present Manavantar. So this is important, this word. Manavantar means it is believed that all those different continents are going to unite again after the end of this Manavantar. Then they will again started spreading. There will be a continental spreading and there will be again plate tectonic events. So this is again repetition of the cycle. Now this is another genius, gentleman called Dirghatma. He was another very knowledgeable rishi in our Vedic times. He has successfully calculated the solar year consisting, please mind the date, number of days, 365/1/4. Is it not exactly the same? That is why this 1/4 makes one leap year in 4 years. And Aryabhatta also contributed a lot. I have mentioned earlier that solar system and even circumference, everything of the orbital, Aryabhatta did calculate without any telescope, without any satellite. So this was also, it's not a story. Distance of Earth and Moon is calculated in Surya Siddhant, and it is also mentioned somewhere that now see how moon shines due to the reflection of sunlight. One half of the moon is always illuminated, is visible from the earth, and darker half is not visible from the earth. So our Chandrayaan landed somewhere here. So this is also mentioned in Mahabharat Parv. Now they left nothing. No knowledge is untouched. You can see Rigved and Manu Smriti, they are mentioning comets. Comets are called Ketu and Dhum Ketus. Knowledge of this is also another beauty of Rigved and Gita. They give an account of constellation of star. Knowledge of all star reflected in Samhita and in Bhagavad Gita. Now another mention of meteorites. Mention Ramayana, Brahma Puran and Agni Puran. This is a repetition, so let me skip this. Even everything is now. I am from Varanasi, and I think even every part of the world they might be selling some panchang. Panchang means almanac. In Varanasi, there is a publisher called Thakur Prasad and Sons. They publish panchang, and that panchang gives you the chronology of 1,000 years. Exact date at what time, on what date, in which year solar eclipse is going to occur, lunar eclipse is going to occur. And our ancestors were knowing. So now you know these modern discoveries came some only, you can say, 100 years ago. But much before that, our sages were knowing when and what kind of eclipse is going to occur. Is it not amazing? Now, even this Buddhism and Jainism, so there were some mentions. The- They had Jain has a concept of flat Earth, and heavenly bodies move parallel to the Earth, which is center of their orbits as Meru. And they also said concept of two moons and two sets of stars to solve the day and night problem. It was just an attempt, but it is scientifically not true. And the Buddhism monks were advised to refrain from the study of astronomy. They were only focusing on meditation. Now, this is the biggest mystery to me. How can our ancestors know about the sun spots? And they have named them Tamas and Kilak Ketu, which may affect the life and destiny of human being. You know, solar winds can also affect us. And they were knowing about sun spot and solar winds in those Vedic times. Now, concept of collision. How moon was created? Moon was created due to collision with Earth. That is what it is written in Brahmanda Purana. Now, this was also interesting. In ancient time, Indians were using 13-month calendar. Now, only from the Christian era we are following Christian calendar, but it is said that this turtle had 13 moons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 28 days. This one, plus 1 day of rest. So, but now we have started to follow 12 months, but in ancient time we were using 13-month calendar. Now you see this one. Everyone knows this is again not a part of your concept of universe, but it strengthens our point. This is the theory of Darwin. You see, life starts from the water, fish, turtle, then mammals, then some animals, then dwarf man, then Cro-Magnon, then modern man. Now see, same thing is explained in our Dashavatar. In Vishnu Puran, Dead Banks 2000 BC shows the avatars of Lord Vishnu in the same sequence as the law of Darwin. So now I don't need to tell you who copied from who. I hope some of you are aware of this. Maharishi Kanda is the one who discovered atomic energy at 2500 years ago, much before Joel Dalton. What he said, the smallest individual form of matter is Parmanu. That Parmanu word is given by Maharishi Kaladi. He explained dimensions, motion, and even the chemical reaction of Parmanu and its component form. And how many of you know this? Discovery of electricity was done by Agastya Muni. And this is available in ancient text. And just to give a summary, there are many. I have just captured some. Aryabhat, Bhaskaracharya. Sushruta is known as the father of surgery. And if you study Sushruta Samhita, he even kept a human baby was infected. So Sushruta is known to take out the human baby from the womb of mother, put it in the womb of a goat, and then treat the baby and then put it back in the mother, and the baby was born healthy. So now you see Nagarjuna has done a lot of chemistry. Varahamihir was an astronomer. And this is not right, brothers. Maharishi Bharadwaj is the one who did in aviation. And again, Kanda Rishi, atomic energy, and Kapil Rishi was known for cosmology. And this is very interesting. The picture is if Galileo has invented the telescope in 1609, then how Hindus worshipped Navagraha before his invention? And you all know Galileo, when he said no, Earth is not the center of the Earth, Earth also revolves around the sun. So he was charged of blasphemy because it was a firm belief that Jesus was on the Earth. So everything is controlled by Earth, and even the sun, every planets, they revolve around the sun. But that was not the truth. And unfortunately, this Jaltil Mal was punished for his wisdom. Now, this is another interesting example. I hope Mr. Galileo would see this. You see, gravity of Jupiter keeps most asteroid and space rocks away from Earth. Without it, Earth will be most likely to be inhabitable because those asteroids will keep falling on the Earth. So, because of that, for thousands of years, there's nobody who doesn't know what is Mahakumbh. It comes after every year, and the significance is Jupiter completes one cycle around the sun like Earth does in 365 days. So, Heavenly Father, our ancestors were knowing that Jupiter completes one year, one cycle in 12 years. So, had they not been knowing this, how are we celebrating Mahakumbh for thousands of years? This is the question. So, again, the question comes, so what? It took more than 2000 years for the Western science to realize the truth. That too, when British invaded India. This is important. They came to know about the Vedic science and they revealed it to the world without giving undue credits. So now you know, Earth is round and already known to common Hindus for a long time. As we can see, the homemade rangolis, structure, palaces, temples, paintings, and yantras. Indians were knowing about the nine planets for a long time, well before the discovery of telescope by Mr. Galileo. Now, this is the food for the thought. You all must think, we all must think. Why all the great scientific inventions from Europeans, especially British, came only after they conquered India? So where the great brains were not born before the medieval times in the Western world? Why the suddenly big scientists were flourishing only after they conquered India? Now, this is a very common word and very scary in the present day academics, plagiarism. So can you imagine what would happen to respected Sir Newton? Rig Ved is also mentioned gravitation for a long time. And the concept of solar spectrum is well described in Veda. And those things are credited to Isaac Newton. So a clear case of plagiarism is there with due regards to Isaac Newton. He did what he could do, but they could have at least added Vedas in reference section. So this is a simple example of the mention of gravitational forces. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sun has held the earth and other planets. Sun moves in orbit which moving earth and other bodies move around the sun due to force of attraction because sun is heavier than them. Can you see how amazing knowledge is this? Oh God, you created and you possess infinite power. You are upholding the sun and other spheres and render them steadfast by the power of attraction. I don't think any more proof is required. So now I'm coming to some quotations. So most of the word they said, though, all the Indian things are a myth. Myth is a insulting word actually. Means you don't trust. It is something like you say that your grandfather was a myth and my grandfather was a reality. So that is derogatory. So now you see what the wise men say about ancient Vedic knowledge. You will feel happy. This is by Albert Einstein. When I read the Bhagavad Gita and react out to how Bhagwan created this universe, everything else seems so weak. We owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery would have even been made. Now is Dr. Donald Michel, is John Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. Amazing, isn't it? Veda and Purans are divine source of knowledge. It is hard to believe that these facts were already mentioned in the Hindu book thousands of years back, in the time when we human here didn't know much about the astronomy. Now, Dr. Sten Sigurdsson, Pennsylvania State. Hinduism is the only dharma in which the time scale corresponds so that the modern scientific cosmology, the Hindu literature, is work of a genius. Now this one is very interesting. Scott Stanford, space scientist, NASA. It looks like that the writers of the Vedas and Puran come from the future to deliver the knowledge. The works of ancient Aryan sagas in mind-blowing. There is no doubt the Purans and Vedas are the word of the Bhagwan. He wrote to this extent. Now another Dr. Kelvin Hurley of University of California. How could Hindus have possibly known all this 6,000 years ago when scientists have only recently discovered this using advanced equipment which did not exist at that time? Such concepts were formed only recently. And this is by Maharshi Aurobindo. The Veda and Vedanta have stood the test of time and have been the source of almost all profound philosophies and religions of India. At the international level, he said the idea of Upanishad can be rediscovered in much of the thoughts of Pythagoras and Plato that form the most part of Neoplatonism. Gnosticism only repeats another religious language. I forgot to mention this Pythagoras theorem was also discovered by our mathematician Bodhayan Rishi. So this is what I request to all my Indian fellow, all my countrymen. We should go back to Veda and we should read and promote. We should regain our sovereignty and honor to the West world. Thank you. So should I stop presenting?
Yes, sir. If you are over with the presentation.
Okay. How can I do? Oh, this one. I hope I didn't bore the audience.
Not at all, sir. The information given by you is really very amazing.
Thank you, ma'am.
The cosmic conceptualization of the universe by ancient Indian ancestors stands true even today. And you have so well elaborated all this in a capsule form. The basic Indian ideas on space, time, observation, from the age of epic to the early Purans. It is really, I am actually mesmerized by your information on Vedic cosmology.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, this is not my main subject, but it's only out of interest. We should do something for our country.
Yes, we should.
No, you are most welcome. I'm really thankful.
It is really amazing to know that Indian civilization is the only culture that came up with pretty close description of universe that matches with the modern observation and modern theories of science. If we all should be proud of that.
And can you believe where would be if Nalanda and Takshashila were not destroyed? And do you know that when the Nalanda University Library was burnt, it was burning for more than 3-4 months.
Okay.
It is said that
such a huge collection.
Millions of books. So that is very unfortunate. There are many more things. They are beyond this presentation. If some time allow, I can also even give you amazing presentation of the proof of Ramayana. I have made another one.
Why not? I'll definitely take opportunity to do that and take permission from our Honorable Vice Chancellor that you can orient on such topic to all our students also.
Yeah, I know, because in your university there is no geology, but still I can interact. At least I should share my knowledge. I have another. I have done another work on how much in the Veda is written on water conservation. That is also amazing.
Okay.
Yes. And they were knowing metallurgy. Everything was known to our ancestors. I could not mention everything.
Though I am an economics person, but just listening to what all you were saying, it was really very good experience that you shared this knowledge with us.
Oh, thank you for your encouragement. You are always welcome. You can be in touch with me. My email is there.
Yes, sir.
And
Vaishan,
anytime Sir Rao is there, anytime he orders me, I will be there to
Yes,
deliver something.
that has always been so nice of sir that he introduced us to so great personalities like you, all so knowledgeable people that we all have the opportunity to organize such webinars.
Now, let me again tell you that why I regard him so highly. Personally, I haven't ever met him. Ever. But he came to know me because I was the first faculty of Mizoram University to get a good opportunity in a biggest university of Botswana. So I know maybe that triggered him to recognize me and regard me. But vice chancellor is something. For him, it might be difficult to recognize all the teachers, and if I am still being recognized, it's my great luck.
Yes. Vice Chancellor, sir, if you wish to speak something, can I please request, sir, or any of the other participants who wish to interact with Professor Rahul Verma?
Yes, sir. I am from Periyar University, Salem. So, sir, you
Yeah,
have
sir.
given many idea, concept, everything based on Indian knowledge system. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Which are mainly related to some holistic pedagogy that nowadays we are moving the nation right towards that concept. So in this way, how far it is very useful to test your all the concept with the scientific way of thinking, and what are the ways to give proof for Indian knowledge system?
Okay, sir. But actually, if you see, the modern world is itself confessing what is written in Vedas for thousands of years, and it in the new modern discoveries they are being revealed now. And now I there are some institute I don't remember in Germany and even in US, when they are doing some space research, for them learning Sanskrit has been a mandatory.
Yes.
So why so?
Like Darwin's evaluation concept, and everything should be based on Indian knowledge proof need nowadays.
Yes.
Yes,
No, many more things are yet to come. I can't say that everything that is
yes.
in the world was
By
discovered by our
engaging our
ancestors.
this kind of activities only, we can go for searching new concept. What are the correlation between these Darwin's and Indian knowledge systems? We can compare very easily when many
Yes, sir.
people are
But
joined together.
yeah, and you have seen that in the end, I have also given you the quotes from the big scientists, even Einstein.
Yes.
So even these modern day scientists, I have to get the name of that institute in Germany. They have made this Sanskrit language compulsory.
So Einstein often used to say that all the inventions are based on that religious concept. He used to say many times. Right?
And sir, one thing I did not mention because I was not sure about it. I have also read somewhere that from space, the picture of the NASA rocket launching center, the model of that, it resembles a special Sri Yantra of our ancestors. So I don't know how is it true.
Yes, we can search it.
Yes. No, I say we all can, if I have encouraged at least one also, it is a success. So how many of we can also do something and we can share with each other?
Yes.
Because we all are having so many assignments to do. So, but when I find time, I try to do something on this.
So thank
And
you very much
obviously,
for your.
I am teaching this to my African students here also. And can you believe, Many of them have requested me to teach yoga, and I am teaching them.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your informative presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Sambasiva Rao, Sir, respected Pro VC Ma'am, Professor Vinita Saluja Ma'am, Registrar, Sir, Dr. S. Nagakishore, Sir, and my colleagues. On behalf of all of them, I thank you, sir, for being here, sparing your time. And I even want to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for giving us the opportunity to interact with you. Now, sir would just interact with you for a
Vici sir is back. He went up for some time. Maybe he wants
Yes,
to say
sir,
something.
he is here. Sir is here, sir.
Thank you, Rahul ji, very much for your very wonderful lecture. I have been listening. It's a very
Thank you,
rare
sir.
information, and you have provided insights in all history and mythology and everything. You have been and geology also. Very wonderful
Yes.
lecture. It was really good, and everyone appreciating me, sending messages. No, that it was a wonderful information.
Thank you, sir. But I request you one thing. Now you
Yes.
stop saying mythology.
Yes. Okay.
Now you see it is not a myth.
Yes. Yes. Will do. Yes.
Yeah. Anytime, sir.
Yes. Yes. Please.
It is my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahul ji.
No, sir, you can circulate my email ID to
Yes. Yes. I will
anybody who
circulate.
is interested.
I will circulate everyone. Yes.
Ponnu Swami sir has said that he will also do some research. That will be good
Yes,
for
sir,
us.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm
I will
very
send
much
him. I will
interested
send him.
both in physics as well as what is metaphysics.
Yes. I will send
No,
him.
I will
I
also
send-
discover, sir. I will also try to discover contributions of Vedic knowledge in physics.
Yes,
But you know, it's already there. Kanda Rishi has discovered atom.
as you said, there is some way of hatred message from leftists. That gap should be filled by that scientific evidence.
Yeah, you know, there is a sect in the whole world. They whatever we do, they consider is at nothing.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Vandana, you can go ahead now.
Sir, once again, I thank you on behalf of all the faculty members, on behalf of Mangalayatan University. And
It's my pleasure.
it will always look forward for such more orientations from you on cosmology and Vedic universe.
Good.
Thank you
I'm
so much,
happy
sir.
that people liked it.
Yes, sir, we all liked it so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you everyone for
Thank
giving
you.
me
Thank
so
you,
much
Rahul ji.
time.
I will be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.